Yeah, and Joe, I believe there was even footage from I guess Sainz is on board. I think it was the Ferrari, and there was a marshal attending to his car, and again, the field was just speeding by in awful conditions. So I mean, it wasn't even just for tractor. Obviously, that was the one that got the most attention for very good and serious reasons. Because this can never happen again. I don't understand how it happened here. And it happened at Suzuka. I mean, that's the other thing. It's just mind-boggling. I mean, if all the tracks where we should know better, for it to happen here is absolutely unacceptable. And I have to say, Karun Chandok and Paul di Resta know infinitely more than I do about the ins and outs of Formula One. They've driven those cars. They know what it's like. But I'm with you, Joe. I did not get their analysis at all. I wonder, if they only had part of the information at the time, or everybody was still trying to process it. But there's no way Gasly should be blamed for that incident. Drivers, all the time try to catch up to the back end of the pack under the safety car. And it doesn't, even if you want to say, well, maybe Gasly didn't need to be going that fast, that doesn't answer the question to why the tractor was out there. I mean, it's just simply unacceptable, and it cannot happen again. We've seen what happens when something goes wrong when it does happen. And I know the cars are safer than they've ever been. I know we have the Halo now. I don't know if the Halo would have saved Jules Bianchi's life. But we don't need to find that out. We don't need to have another accident to see if that would be the case or not. The tractor just should not have been out there at all. And I hope that a situation like this never happens again, because it isn't even the first time since Suzuka 8 years ago that we've run into a controversy like this. And it's just absolutely disgraceful. And Kobe, to get to, again, the race procedure and the start procedure and everything, I mean, as well as I do, we're on the East Coast of the United States of America. The race started, or was scheduled to start, at least at 1 a.m. And with the time windows, if we didn't have any delays, it would be over at 3. With the delay, with the rain and the weather and everything, it was over at 4 a.m. Eastern time. I'm a dedicated, passionate follower of this sport, and I stayed up the entire night. And it was, I must admit, I was sitting there questioning what I was doing at 2:30 in the morning, when all we were hearing was, we're going to restart the race under safety car conditions, and it's going to be a rolling start. Okay, never mind. The start is suspended, and we don't have a time procedure for when we're going to get back. And then you have all the chaos and controversy that came after the checkered flag, which I know we'll get to in just a little bit later on as well. But, at some point, you need to make a decision. Like, either we're going to race in the rain or we're not. Either we're going to utilize our intermediate or wet tires or not. I think the best way to clear off standing water is to get 20 Formula One cars out there doing laps under the safety car. I guess it would have been 18 or whatever it was, after, the incidents on the opening lap. Get those cars out there to push the standing water away. You can run some laps under the safety car. That's not hardly unprecedented. We've seen that before. Ideally, the rain's lightening up a little bit, but track conditions will improve. Then we can go racing, and you can even have the drivers all come to the pits and change onto the intermediate tires. And when we got the race, the short race that we got, I thought we saw some pretty entertaining racing, actually. I thought there were a couple of passes, a couple of daring moves that, at the bare minimum, those fans in Japan got yesterday or today or whenever, the date. I guess the date is still Sunday here in the States, but they at least got something that the fans of Belgium and Spa last year didn't even get that. So at the bare minimum, we got a race, and we were able to legitimately say we went motor racing this time. And then we threw it all away again with the controversy of whether or not Verstappen was actually the champion. Are we awarding full points? So there's a lot that Formula One and the FIA have to clean up, especially considering the growing fan base, especially here in the United States. There's a race in Vegas next year that's going to be starting at the exact same time. There might be some fans that are maybe trying this, 1 a.m. start time out. If this was their first 1 a.m. race, I can't imagine that they're going to be super excited to do it again come time for Vegas next year, which is supposed to be the big race that's going to continue to grow the sport here in the United States of America. Hey everyone, I'm Ben Schneider. Thank you so much for watching. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Grid Network highlights and analysis. And for full episodes of Grid Live Encore and other Grid programming, subscribe directly to Grid Network.